Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ham Radio Basics Live, Season 3, Episode 1, 2025 Hamcation Preview. Hope everyone is doing well today. First of all, I want to thank, and Cooley, welcome. Good to see you in here, my friend. I want to thank everybody for watching the rebroadcasts that I did the past few weeks. I really appreciate that. Gave me some much needed time off, but even if I was up to it, I would not have been able to have done broadcast. Is I was down, both my wife and I were down with a severe head cold, and it was just, I've had a hacking cough for about 4 weeks, mostly over that right now. It was long, and it was the second Christmas in a row that we were both sick. It was not fun. Did have my granddaughters down along with my daughter and son-in-law. We enjoyed them. They were sick prior to all this, so they really didn't pick up anything, which was good news. But all in all, it's good to be on the other side right now, on the healthy side. And I think we're getting there. So just, going to plow forward. What I thought I'd like to do today, I mean, Hamcation is next month. It's January already. So Hamcation is in February, and that's right around the corner. And I thought I'd like to go ahead and give you guys a preview of what you can expect. Hey, Cooley, good to see you this afternoon, my friend. What you can expect there. And, between the two, I'd been to Hamcation a couple of times before, but last year was the first time I went to Hamvention, and it was quite an experience. It was very interesting. Not sure if we're going to get to Hamvention this year, but, we're definitely going to go ahead and go to Hamcation. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as that comes up. The way our travel plans are and the way, I'm scheduled. I'm going to try to get scheduled for some major dental surgery this year to hopefully, finally get some things addressed and taken care of that are way overdue. So that may eat up a lot of my time. I really wanted to try to get to Huntsville this year. Not sure if that's going to happen or not, but we will get over to Orlando. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. One of the things that last year that I have to say that the organizers of Hamcation did was revamp their website, and wow, did they do a great job. I mean, it's just it's a world-class, what I would call a world-class website. I mean, it's easy to navigate, very informational. They did a great job, so kudos to the Hamcation committee for getting this done, getting this taken care of, because the old website was kind of clunky. Links sometimes work, sometimes they didn't, and it was kind of cumbersome. But this year they made it very easy, and it works, and it's great. And we're just going to go ahead and kind of jump into things now. This is the splash page. This is the entry page. And it does contain quite a bit of information. Hamcation isn't just a trade show; it's a vacation destination for the whole family. It's in Orlando, and Hamcation thanks the sponsors. Subscribe to Hamcation for latest events and news, and of course they are out on X, formerly Twitter, as well, so you can follow them out there, and they do have updates on that. First of all, getting there, and it's in Orlando, and getting to Orlando, if you have to travel on Interstate 4, it's one of the most, and quite honestly, it's one of the most dangerous interstates in the country. And I think it was they have voted that as well too. So you need to be very careful when you're on Interstate 4. And what's funny is, I guess the saying is, if you live in Orlando, Orlando is an hour outside of Orlando, and it's really that true, because when you get closer to Orlando, because of Disney, it gets backed up all the time, and it doesn't matter what time of year, and it's really backed up, especially in months like in January, February, and March, when a lot of people are visiting because of the cold weather, and they've come down to Florida to enjoy some nicer weather, and it's just packed. It's just absolutely packed. Now let's go ahead and take a look here. I'm going to first pull up directions here, and I'm going to need to, StreamYard is fantastic, but when you switch on here, they don't switch with you. So you kind of got to got to do this. Now I'm going to back out here just to kind of give you a bird's eye view on where things stand. Hamcation is in the northern part of Orlando. Trying to hone in on it here. You can see the interstate right here. And it's on West Colonial Drive. Just to let you guys know about this here. Where it's at here. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna hone in on that. There it is right there. Okay. And we're going to kind of back out here a little bit just to kind of give you guys a bird's eye view. It's not that far from Interstate 4. It's in the northern part of Orlando, and it's in an area where there are a lot of pawn shops. Okay, just to let you know, and most, if not all, the recommended lodging is not in that area, and you don't want to stay there either. It's just not very conducive to lodging there. Just to let you guys know. Now, parking, it's a real interesting situation right there. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that map up right now. Almost always, if you don't get there, probably, I'm going to say probably by maybe 7:30, 8 a.m. Okay. Now, where my cursor is right here, this is where the main hall is and where most all the exhibits are. Okay. And right beneath it is a big grass field where there's parking. If you're not there probably by 8 a.m., I'm going to say in the morning, you're going to have to park over here where they have this area over here. And it's not that bad. One of the things I do want to caution you is there are a lot of ruts over in this area over here. So number one, be careful when you drive your vehicles there. And number two, be very careful walking because these ruts, you got to pay attention. You got to literally have your head down when you're walking there. Otherwise, you could fall and trip or twist an ankle or something worse. So be very careful when you're doing that. And it's a good 5+ minute walk. Now, when you go to the building right here, okay, they have their ticket booth is right on this side of the building with an entrance right here. But if you pre-order your tickets and are going to pick them up, you want to go onto the other side of the building over here. It's kind of like, I guess, a will call. And that's where that's where you go ahead and you pick up your tickets. They're over there. And that's what I would recommend. I would recommend doing it because everybody's going in and out this gate right here. And if you pre-order your tickets, hey, Ham Radio KS, good to see you. That guy, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Gene, thank you for stopping by as well, too. Welcome from Texas. All right. Thank you guys for stopping by. And Ham Radio KS, I'm going to assume Kansas. Hey, that's great. Thank you for stopping here. What I was saying was you want to head over to this side of the building over here. I'm trying to hopefully you guys can see my cursor. Well, it's not showing up now, but it was showing up. I don't know why it's not showing up now. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. Okay. Yeah, it's back. Okay. You want to go over here. Like if you prepay for your tickets, this is where you would go pick them up. Don't go stand in line over here and make a mistake like I did last time because I thought they had moved will call over to here. No, will call is over to the right of the building when you go in there. So this is where you would go to pick up your tickets. And then you would show them to get in. And right away, if you're not familiar, if you haven't been to Hamcation before, this is the main hall. This is where almost all the vendors are. You're going to find everybody here. Okay. You're going to find Yaesu. You're going to find ICOM. You're going to find Ham Radio Outlet. You're going to find Gigaparts. You're going to find Ham Radio Prep. You're going to find Quicksilver Radio Products. You're going to find everybody over in there. Now, there are a few vendors. Excuse me. Oh, okay, Jeff. Okay, Jeff, thanks. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Good deal. Thanks for letting me know. But you're going to find almost everything you need in this building right here. It will all be there. And it's can get a little congested in there at times because remember, this is the main building where things are. Now there's another one. There are two other buildings to go to. And this other one, it's in behind and it's almost directly behind the building back there. And this is where, number one, where you would drop off your ticket stubs to get entered for the prizes. Now, I would highly recommend, if you're interested in, you can get additional tickets. They are available for sale there to purchase additional chances to win some of the prizes. And that's the building you would deposit them in. I think one of the battery vendors was in there as well. I think maybe a couple other ones. Hey, Andy, welcome. Good to see you this afternoon, my friend. I think a couple other vendors were in there, but basically, that's the main thing that I got out of going to that building. Was in the back was where you would drop off your ticket and you could purchase additional chances as well, which I would recommend that you would do, because I mean, you stand a much better chance of winning at a place like this. With your odds are much better than, say, like in a national type of contest. So go ahead and spend that money to do that, because it's well worth the investment. I didn't win anything, but it's something I would recommend doing. Now, excuse me, what they did last year was, instead for the swap area, they did have a few cars outside this area right here, outside that other building across from the main building. But they had reserved a whole area, a whole building right there. And that's pretty much where the swap area was. And it was packed. It's a pretty large sized building, and it was packed. And they had everything in there. I mean, absolutely, positively everything you could even want to begin to imagine was in there. One of the things that I always look for, okay, I'm always looking for, like boxed up stuff that hasn't been used, like maybe Yaesu's or ICOMs or things like that people have had for years, but they never opened it for one reason or another. Those are the kind of things that I look for, because chances are pretty good that they will work. One of the things that really impressed me was they had a vendor who sold nothing but old tubes. I mean, hundreds. They had hundreds of vacuum tubes there. It was simply amazing. I mean, it just kind of blew my mind away. But I'm really glad. One of the things I really like about it, though, is, rain or shine, you're able to get in there, because what I can tell you is that parking lot out there where they would used to have the vendors, it could get very muddy out there. So that's one of the things I think has really helped and really benefited people is to have that over there. It really, they did a great job with that. I was really, really impressed with what they did in getting everybody in that building. And I mean, everybody was in that building, and it was packed. We walked through the entire building. It was great, and and I'm going to say most, if not all, the people were very friendly, very outgoing. Will answer all your questions there. Now, one of the things I wasn't real sure of, and I'm still not sure that I didn't get answered, is because I know at places like, I know at Hamcation, and I know like at Huntsville, they have an area where they can test, if you buy something, that you can test it before you actually pay the money for it. So to see if it actually works or if it's DOA. I don't know if they have an area like that or not here. But I think, if anybody knows, anybody in the chat, or if anybody's watching the video after the fact, let me know, drop a comment and let me know that. But for what I understand, I don't believe that they have that there. But it's a great place to go as far as, if you're looking for things. I definitely recommend that you go to that as well too. And one of the things that I like about Hamcation versus Hamvention, besides the fact that it's in Orlando and it's fairly close to me and I don't have to fly up to Ohio, is the fact that everything's in like two buildings here. Okay, because you go to Hamvention, you're in 6, 7, 8 buildings up there, and you are a tired pup by the time you're done. And these are not small buildings up at Hamvention. And you probably saw my video. I mean, it takes a good, like, if you were to just go through and walk through the buildings and not talk to anybody, it would probably take a couple hours up at Hamvention. It really would. Now, it is much wider. It's more spacious up there, but, on one hand, but on the other hand, it's a lot of area to cover. Now, they do have food vendors here. down, and we're going to get to tickets here in a second, but I want to spend a minute and talk about food vendors. They do have a few food vendors here, and they are very good, but be prepared. I mean, for a hamburger and a Coke and fries, you'll probably spend about $20. I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, what we have done, Valerie and I did last year, was we went off site to get lunch, and then we came back later. But that's something that I would highly recommend that you do. What we did was we stayed for a good 6-7 hours, left, got lunch, and then ended up going out to dinner, and then came back the next day. Now, one of the things I can tell you is you can really do everything that you want here in one day, and that's one of the things that we're going to do. Is we're only going to go to one day of Hamvention or Hamcation, and I think we're going to be there on that Friday. I think that's going to really, in essence, that's all you really need for all the vendors that are going to be there. You don't need to go more than one day, because you're going to see the same thing over and over again. Now, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get to, okay, hotel accommodations. All right. Quite a number of hotels to choose from here. The Drury Inns and Suites, Rosen Inn, International Rosen Inn at Point Orlando, Holiday Inn Express and Suites near Universal Studios, Comfort Inns and Suites near Universal Orlando, Holiday Inn Express and Suites Orlando East Ochi. Drury Inns and Suites is where we stayed last year, and I highly recommend it. It's like right next to Universal, and it's an easy drive up to Hamcation, a very easy drive up there. It's kind of a difficult location to get to. It's not far off the interstate to get there, but another word of caution when you're driving through Orlando, remember there's a lot of international people there, and they don't have a tendency not to follow our traffic laws. And it's kind of like the wild, wild west. We found that out when we went to go out to eat. When you make turns and are cutting out on traffic and stuff, you gotta be quick. You gotta make your decisions very quickly when you're going out there. So, but what I recommend, that if you're going and are going to stay overnight, the Drury Inns and Suites, they're one of the best places I think we have ever stayed. They have incredible pillows. They were incredible enough that both my wife and I purchased them after our stay there last year. They were that good. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So that's something I would recommend if you're going there. And like I said, it's not very far. It's not very far from Hamvention or Hamcation itself. Place I would highly recommend it, and it's packed. Okay, by the time we made our reservations there wasn't any other rooms available. Okay, they were booked for the weekend, and the parking lot speaks accordingly to that as well too. There is a good there's a I'll call it modern Italian restaurant. It's pretty much right across the street from there. Food's okay. I mean, it's kind of upscale-ish kind of a thing. There are several good places to eat in that area. So, this is a place I would recommend if you're going to go, if you need to make reservations, because it's not that far from Hamcation. It really isn't. And it's a real easy drive up there from here. And the other thing that I would recommend is, if you're going to go, one of the things, you may want to take some snacks with your power bars or something like that. The only thing we actually bought there, I bought a lemonade or two, which was ended up costing about $20, but it was nice to have something to drink while we were there, and it did really, really, really well. So yeah, and then they have some things to do while in Orlando right here. Of course, Disney. Kennedy's not too far away if you're inclined to go to Kennedy Space Center. But with Kennedy Space Center, just something as an FYI, if you go, you have to go very early, because if you want to do some of their tours, because if you go there and get there after 9:00, usually all their tours are booked for the day. So that's a heads up for you on that. There's Universal Studios there. There's SeaWorld there as well too. So there's some other things to do just besides Hamcation right there. But I wanted to go ahead and point that out. Okay. Let's go ahead and get back to the Okay, wow, it's actually working this time. Okay. Um, Now let's go ahead and look at vendor info. Let's see if we have exhibit halls, hall and booth info, advanced shipping and staging. Okay, and these are for being able to purchase um, tickets for the vendors themselves. Now here's the tickets, and I wanted to go ahead and get this right here. Now tickets will be mailed once received from the printer. Um, you can purchase them online. Tickets purchased after December 1st and at the gate are $25. So now they're $25. You can purchase them here, or you can purchase them. Tickets will be mailed once received from the printer. So you can do that here, or you can go ahead and do it by mail as well too. Children 12 and under get a free admission when accompanied by an adult. All ticket orders after December 31st will be held in the will call window at the East ticket booth. So just to let you know, if you're going to go ahead and get tickets now, it's going to be in that will call area, which I showed you a few minutes ago, and that's in the East booth, which is really, it's kind of like it's when you go there, it's not the very first booth, but it's the one at the end of the building that you would need to go to get that. So that's where we're going to go. Valerie and I will go to pick ours up over there. So, and again, they're $25 now. In order to have gotten the other ones, you had to have done that earlier here. Okay. And you can see there's things like, if you're into, if you're bringing your RV there, there's info on that as well too. And there's other special events, station, amateur radio exams are available there. They do have that option, and it's in one of the outlying buildings if you're so inclined to do that. Hamcation prizes. 2024 had over $25,000 in prizes. Prize rules. You don't need to be present to claim the early bird or grand prize. We will mail them to winners if not claimed. Grand prizes will be drawn at the last daily drawing for each day. You're required to be present to claim the hourly prizes and other special promotions. Early bird prize winner will be determined by a computer-generated program based on actual ticket numbers. By purchasing admission, the attendee agrees that Hamcation is sole arbiter for all prizes. All prize drawings will be posted to our Facebook and Twitter pages as well. You will need to claim all other hourly prizes before 11:59 a.m. on Sunday. Okay. Prize drawing donation tickets. The suggested donation is $5 for one ticket, $50 for 25 tickets, $75 for 50, and $100 for 100 tickets. All entries and donations become the property of OARC immediately, which is the organization right here. Okay. Prize schedule and winners apparent. Okay, they do have some of them listed already here. Friday at 9:59 a.m. Early bird prize ICOM ID 52A donated by ICOM. Friday grand prize donated by Saturday grand prize. And it looks like the Sunday grand prize ICOM IC 905 with the AH24, AH56, and AH100 antennas, and the CX 10G 10 gigahertz transverter donated by ICOM. So that's a nice haul right there. So and again, I would highly recommend getting some of these donation tickets for $5. You can get additional entries, as many as you can afford. That would be, and it's a good thing because all that money goes to help Hamcation, and it goes to the organization as well to do that right there. So that is a very good thing here. Let's go ahead and see what else may be here. Of course, if you want to volunteer, there's an opportunity to do that as well. Let's go to parking and RV info. Okay. RV reservation info. Okay. You can reserve your RV spaces and use our online reservation system or by postal mail until January 31st. After that date, please do not mail in a registration. All credentials will be held at the RV check-in located near the south gate for pickup at your arrival. RV spaces are still available via in-person at the Hamcation event starting Wednesday of Hamcation at 2 p.m. And there's directions on that. And you can purchase those online. One night with a 50 amp is $50. You can see 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights, and 5 nights is up there. And you can select arrival day. And it's nice to be able to do this online. So if you're driving an RV there and you want to stay there, you have the option of being able to do that there, and it gives you option as far as parking is concerned. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Jeff, I'm telling you, yeah, that's something that's on my radar. Okay, I've got a deposit in for one, and I'm excited about it because one of the things I really want to do, and I'm really anxious to do that, is to compare it to the IC705. That's going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that. Still not in yet. They're still taking reservations for them. So only and it's funny because they announced ICOM announced their big radio, and that's in, and people are buying them right now. I mean, they're probably out of stock already, but for this, they're still not in stock anywhere. So kind of crossing my fingers on that one. But okay. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about here, and again, the link is in the description for Hamcation, and it's like I said, they really have done a great job with this website. I highly recommend going out there and going through that. You want to get your tickets, okay? But getting tickets on the day is easy as well too. One of the things that I wanted to point out is when you're exiting the buildings on the side areas right there, okay? They usually have, I'll call it grass, and for lack of a better term, it's not really that much of a grassy area right there. But I tripped last year and I banged my knee up pretty good, but I was pretty lucky on that. They have water pipes sticking up out of the between where the sidewalk is in that grassy area right there. So I want to let you guys know about that. So if if you're so inclined, oh, okay, Andy, thanks. Thanks for the update on that. That's kind of what I was thinking. It wasn't going to be out in time for Hamcation, but yeah. So I guess just going to have to be patient on that as well. But yeah, thank you for that update, Andy. Appreciate that. So be careful because I went to see, there were a bunch of YouTubers there, and I went off the sidewalk. I went off okay, but as I was coming back, I went the same way and I didn't see. And there are the pipes that are sticking up are the plastic PVC pipes, and they're protecting, I think, another pipe in the ground right there. But they were too high. I didn't see them, and I fell, and I was real lucky because, as you guys remember, the year before I fell, broke my hand. Okay, so, but yeah, this is just a kind of a word to the wise that if you're going there, to be careful of those sidewalk areas, those side out areas. Be careful of those. Just be careful and mindful of that. Also, too, you'll probably run into, and this is one of the other reasons why I like Hamcation better than Hamvention, is chances are real good you're going to run into some of the YouTube guys, okay, like Jason or Josh or Mike, or T.O., or I met Smoking Ape there last year. Well, I was surprised that he was there, but I was pleasantly surprised that he was there. But it was good to see him there. So chances are real good you run into these guys. Now, if it's early in the morning, like on the first day, especially, okay. Now I know Josh will do his walkthrough on the inside. So and I know, and I ran into Mike K at MRD, Ham Radio Tube. He was doing his thing as well. And I recognized that, and I just, they recognized me, they gave that, and I wanted to let them go because I want them to do their thing. But after they were done, I spent a few minutes to talk to them. One of the things that I like to do is I spent a few minutes, I talked to Ray Novak, and this is one of the other things I really like about this too, because it seems it's easier to talk to people in the booths there. And the booths that I kind of target are ICOM with Ray Novak, John Kruk from Yaesu. They do have a lot of other people at the Yaesu booth, which is great. And what I found really frustrating was every time that there were not a lot of people at the Yaesu booth and I wanted to go talk to John, he was teaching some kind of class. And of course, kudos to John for doing that. Okay. And because, I did get a chance to talk to Ray, him radio test prep, James, I want to be able to talk to him. Jim, who I've had on the show, want to be able to talk to him as well too. James just runs a grade A class organization there. That is the best thing I think that's happened in ham radio in years. And he continues to evolve what he does there. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh, thank you very much. The POTA meetup for Thursday is shown in the affiliated events page of the Hamcation site. You know what? let me go ahead and get that up. Thank you for saying that. Let me see if I can find that. Vendor info about affiliated events. Okay, let's go ahead and get that up. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna post this there. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Airhammer. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and share that here. Okay. POTA Meetup, Thursday, February 6, 2025, third annual Hamcation POTA Meetup. Please click below for more information. And let's go ahead, and I got the infamous StreamYard not letting you being able to do this here. Okay, and there's a PDF here. Okay, third annual Hamcation POTA Meetup. Please join us. Everyone welcome. This is on Thursday, February 6th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's hosted by Toads, okay? And you know it's all the ham radio YouTubers as well. Wiki, I think, is pronounced Springs State Park, Wiki Springs Road, Apopka, Florida, 32712, Live Oak Pavilion. View and operate various equipment or bring your own. Door prizes, meet YouTube creators, snacks, lunch, learn about parks on the air, activate the park. Okay. That's something if you have time, and I'm actually thinking about doing that as well. We might have to get a hotel. I'm not real sure, but this is something that I would highly recommend if you want to get a chance to meet the YouTubers outside of Hamcation. This would be a fantastic spot because I know almost all of them go there. I know Jason goes there. I know Josh goes there. I know Mike K8MRD goes there. I think if Smoking Ape is there, he'll be there. T.O. will be there. So yeah, that's something that I would recommend that you guys are interested in to go there to do this. It's a great day, and it's really doing what we do. Okay, it's doing POTA. Now, Confessions of a Ham Radio extra class. I've never done POTA before. Okay, I live in the state of Florida. I really don't have a park near me where I'm at. Number one, and number two, we have to kind of deal with creepy crawlies around here. It's like it's not just go ahead and set your radio up, get your antenna up, get your battery out, and get on the air. It's a little bit more difficult than that. One of these days I'm going to do that, but this is a good opportunity to learn about POTA if you haven't done it before and watch other guys. And I'm really seriously considering going to this. So, Airhammer, thank you for pointing this out. I really appreciate that. But yeah, and is there a link? You know what? I'm going to drop a link to this in the chat for you guys. Okay, yeah, it's in the chat, so you guys can access that. I'm also going to end up putting it in the description as well. It's a great opportunity right here if you've never done POTA before, just to go and watch and listen to them and how they activate a park. And I know there's log entries and logging entries and things like that. I've always wanted to do POTA. It's not for lack of not wanting to do it. Number one, I don't have a park by me, and number two, in Florida we have challenges here. Okay, when you go to state parks, that's just the kind of the name of the game in the state of Florida. But no, this is something that I would highly recommend that you guys do if you can. It's on Thursday, which is the Hamcation does not start till Friday, but it's an all-day thing out there. It starts at 9, it ends at 4, and all the guys will be out there, and I think it'll be a blast. Be able to talk to people out there, which is great. I mean, and let me tell you what, okay, rubbing shoulders with these guys, they are the real deal. Okay, Josh is great, Jason is great, Mike, Kate, MRD, T.O., Steve, Smoking Ape, they're all great. They're all great, down to earth people. They're fun to talk to. They will answer questions ad nauseum for you guys. So yeah, you definitely, it's something I would recommend. If you have the opportunity, if you can get there on Thursday, and that's from 9 to 4 during the day. And I think it's fairly close to Orlando. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. I'd have to look that up on the map, but you can check the link out there. It's something I would recommend that you guys do. And like I said, you get the bonus of meeting some really cool guys out there that are great. And what's real, they got they're really passionate about ham radio, and it shows. And they're always willing to answer questions. They're fantastic. And I gotta say, as a personal thank you, okay, Jason helped me tremendously when I started out my channel. Okay. And Jason, thank you so much. I keep saying that all the time, and it's true. He really made a big difference and really helped guide me, and helped me get the channel started, and want to really thank him for that. So, well, we're back. Okay. This was the first episode of 2025. Thank you guys for being here. 20 miles. Okay. Thank you, Airhammer. Appreciate that. It's 20 minutes north of the fairgrounds. Okay. Good deal. Okay. So it's not far away from where Hamcation is at all. And again, if you guys have a chance to do that, it's something I would highly recommend. And also, if you're going to stay there and you haven't made reservations, check out the Drury Inns and Suites. That is just, we really liked it. I mean, really, really liked it. So if you can get in there, that's a place that I would recommend. So we're going to be back next week. We're going to be doing our regular ham radio news and updates and everything, and going to try to get some guys on again this year. Going to see about checking in with some of them. Haven't had several people on for a while, so we're going to bring some of them back. Just check in, see how things are going with them, and maybe talk about Hamcation, Hamvention, Huntsville in August, that kind of thing. Just to have a good time. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that new Yaesu radio coming out. Bummer it's not coming out till March or so. So, but thank you guys so much for stopping by this afternoon. Really appreciate it. This new start time works so well for me. It's just absolutely perfect. It's great. Thank you guys all for tuning in. As always, guys, it's a great day to make a Q. So 7-3s, everybody. Catch you next week, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern.